Oh shit.
Yesterday somebody whacked out my mural. That energy will make you niggas move to Europe. But it's regular for me, yeah, that's for sure. The love and hate is definitely without a cure. All this talk is bitch made, that's on my lord. I kill them all before I let them kill my joy.
What's good?
What's good? Welcome back. The first episode of the year, season 2. It's 2025.
Born Unfiltered, we coming back at you. It's Glow.
It's Keys.
Man, how you been, brother?
Man, how we all been? Shit, what has been going on.
I know, man. There's been a lot going on in the first month, maybe.
It's crazy. I'm gonna say, honestly though, I've been good. I'll say it's been an interesting year.
Yeah.
Definitely said first month, I don't think none of us expected as much shit that's happened to happen.
Man, especially so in odd places as well, like all across the coast.
Literally, we can start off, like I said, first off, rest in peace to anybody that has passed away in any of these events that we're gonna talk about. You know what I mean? Hopefully everybody that is alive and is doing well, hopefully you trying to do well, I'll at least say. Because you alive, so you should be doing well, but you trying to do well because a lot of people lost.
Maintain and hold them together, and if not, recovering from any losses that
they
have been impacted by.
Facts, because a lot of people lost a lot of shit. Outside from the LA fires, people lost home. Even if they didn't lose their life, they lost their homes, their property, they pretty much everything. And then you got, like I said, you got all the plane crashes, man. That in the last couple of weeks, that shit been just like out of the blue.
Man, speaking of, like, it was crazy because literally one of my coworkers, when I was on like a short trip out to Pennsylvania, it was crazy. They had called me to check on me because they was like, yeah, I just heard like it was another like crash that just happened, and it was just where you was like supposedly like going or heading. So I wanted to double check, and I was like, oh no, I'm good, but I appreciate you on the check-in. And then I double checked it, and I seen it on the news.
I remember we was talking about that. I was like, was you by there? Because then we had called people we knew and stuff, and it was just like, they was like, no, that would happen in Philly, and he was like, he was in Pennsylvania, so I was like, all right, well, London straight. I'm like, but that shit was crazy. I was like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. The fact how close that was to you though, I was like, damn.
Still pretty wild. And then even aside from like the plane crashes and the LA fire, you had just like the shooting that had happened down in like various places. There's been like various shootings and whatnot, and
it's so much like to unfold with it. Like you said, all the economy, everything going on and stuff. Like you said, you can't even pinpoint one thing almost because it's been happening in various spots around the world, on the East Coast, the West Coast. Here in like Chicago area as well. We had a plane that like crashed or something. Not like I don't think full on crash, like it injured somebody or something. But it was just like there's so much shit going on.
I know even aside from that, there's been a lot of like police chases and whatnot that's been like uproaring, and especially like with the new laws getting passed. Not that we getting overly political because we're not too political, but like the whole new laws getting passed with like having switches or like extended mags and stuff like that. So like they've been cracking down a lot more just on like how would they say? I guess nowadays the young activities.
The YN activities. He said they are trying to get y'all. He said they said y'all coming a little too reckless.
Time to cut it down. It's time to, man.
Hey, y'all coming down with each other now. Y'all gotta do what y'all gotta do with their ass. I ain't never gonna say nah with that.
Hey. But that's on them. But at the end of the day, just a moment of silence for all those that, like you said, like we lost and just in general that have lost. And then back to the podcast, because now it's time to get back to some real shit.
He said some real shit.
Man, call to action, let everybody know how we coming this year, because legit, last year we was coming kind of light.
We were still starting it up. We life happens and shit like that, but we didn't want to rush anything. We didn't want to purposely, like, we just took our small steps with everything and let it slowly build. And this year, like you said, we coming
with a vengeance. And even aside from that, we have heard some of the fans. We heard y'all, like y'all gave good criticism and also at the same time great compliments as well.
And we definitely appreciate it.
Man, we appreciate everybody that's tuned in and everybody that's constantly like giving us feedback. Looking forward to the next episode that we drop or the content that we speaking about. We appreciate you, and definitely this year we also hoping to get more guests on. So stay
Yes.
tuned at the end for all the details that we're gonna drop and the information we let y'all know going forward.
Facts. I will say real quick, so we're getting the community started on the Clubhouse, and then on I don't know if anybody's familiar with GroupMe. It's kind of like Telegram, but it's through Microsoft, and we just, like I said, just trying to get more, avenues where we can do more engagement with everybody.
For sure. So definitely be on the lookout. Definitely this topic or like head point for this episode is definitely what motivates you to dream bigger.
Yup.
And one of the things that we want to definitely talk about and get engagement with y'all is some of the dreams and aspirations y'all have for this year alone. We'll reflect on that as well deeper into the episode.
Yep.
But we want to figure out what our audience is feeling and how y'all gauging y'allself, and we'll talk more in depth and check back in on that, a few episodes down the road once we gauging ourselves on how our goals going and everything. So stay in tune for sure.
I'll say one thing. I also started off. We'll give one of our goals here for the podcast. So our goal is to pretty much upload a video every 2 weeks, so we can have a little more, content out there for you guys. Like I said, hopefully everyone can get into the communities that we started, so that we can get more, feedback and stuff that we can talk about on the podcast. Get more feedback and stuff so we can talk about things with our guests as well and get their perspective.
Definitely. Now I know, wrapping up off of last year, I think one of the last things we talked about, if not in one of our last episodes, but definitely towards the end of the year, some of our theme was recapping on music, because there was a lot of good music that we heard throughout the whole year, and thinking about just like some of the content of quality artists, quality movies. We was also thinking about just like the quality of just accolades from different various cultures and things that was going on.
Shit.
How would you say, keeping it specified, how would you say like music wise, end of last year, shaping into this year, how are we looking?
I think end of last year, going into this year, it got way better. I think it was definitely, especially R&B side, got way better, got a little more thrown out there. Hip hop and R&B, hip hop and rap definitely did as well. And I think honestly, if it continues on the road that it ended with last year, it is gonna get way better, especially with a lot of different artists, a lot of new artists emerging as well. Mm-hmm. A lot of even some older artists started to change up like what they originally was doing.
Kind of like revamping.
Revamping themselves, rebranding themselves, and I think it helped a lot of people. We all saw it. Kendrick for one. Kendrick into 2024 definitely took that shit. I'm just saying. He walked away with the Grammys for it, so we can't sit there and say he didn't.
That is true, and definitely he set a certain tone throughout the majority of the year that was like, not necessarily strictly cutthroat, but like definitely.
Like if you gonna drop some shit, and if it's rap, you better drop some shit hard.
Right, and it was like determined. Like he knew he was like a man on a mission.
And I ain't gonna lie, honestly, like after sitting and reflecting the whole thing, I do appreciate, because I saw he had an interview recently, and he was saying like it made him really kind of start back to like the sport of it behind the rapping. Like, yeah,
because he mentioned like something about how he still watch like battle raps and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was saying like he felt like hip hop, especially I guess more so rap. The rap era has just been more like kind of more fun, and it ain't been like let's get nitty gritty. Let's actually let's throw some bars on this shit for real.
Actually, adding more competition, so that way it's more motivation to put out content and not just rapping about the lifestyle that I guess we can afford.
And then I did like that one other thing real quick that I did like that he said in the interview, he was saying that he liked the limelight that the battle between him and Drake put on hip hop and rap. It like how it started to get the whole world involved and started to really see hip hop more so for it's like more storytelling. It's more, real life shit. It ain't just we just doing this shit for fun, we just saying this shit just cause kind of like how it been in recent years, where it's like, okay, hip hop been kind of on the downtrend. That you've heard from certain people in different podcasts, different interviews. Like you got like the like the Lil Yachty's and stuff like that. People like, I don't really feel some of that new shit.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Definitely. And it's interesting as well because literally, it was a thing that you said about his interview was rebranding. Mm-hmm. And I was curious if you wanted to allude more about your music, because I know you did drop, and the last thing that you were talking about for sure towards the end of the year, in a few of our last episodes, you talked about how you were going to release some new music. Did you want to allude to any of your current releases or anything?
Well, yeah. So at the end of the year, I had dropped a project that I was working on the entire last year called Lonely Thoughts, and I feel like it definitely, like I said, was more hip hop. And now I guess if you kind of go into the rebranding part, this year is more like a hip hop rap thing I'm going for. and just trying to, like I said, definitely going for more content behind the music, and like having basically a strategy to drop it with the branding behind it, and like I said, the revamp of the personal branding behind it, where it just shows more of me, shows more like the behind the scenes stuff of it and things like that, versus just me. I feel like that's the only thing I didn't really do too much in 2024 with the project, the Lonely Thoughts project I dropped. I don't feel like I had too much content behind it, but like I said, I know, like I said, life happens, working a lot of shit, but this year definitely, just like I said, coming more with a plan behind it.
For sure, and definitely I know a theme that we talked about at various times last year was reality versus it was reality versus social media presence, and pretty much how do we balance or find that balance in being able to be authentic selves while also maintaining our social media presence and how we influence, how we brand ourselves, because you have your clothing brand as well. You also got your music that you make. We have the podcast that we co-host on. Also, I have my work, professional, living, things like that. And just how do you feel when it comes to the music that you're making now, the rebranding that you're kind of going for, kind of like refocusing on your investment in it. How do you feel your social media presence overall has evolved?
I feel like recently, like especially I'll say like the last month more so, I feel like I've gotten way more motivated in terms of, you know what, let me stop, get out of my own head, and let me actually just post a lot of that shit. Like you said, keeping it authentic, post it, do work, even like me with the gym, working out, with the music, just doing, how you do the lives with us, and just doing more of that, because I feel like almost kind of treating like your social media, like I said, keeping it authentic, like your own diary or whatever, your like a video diary, and it's just showing you your memories and stuff that you went through, stuff that you wrote down, things that you've done, instead of like a highlight reel of just like small clips, now you have a whole year worth of, shit that you've done.
True. Like
you said, the podcast, I can show music, I can show working out, you can show like you just doing stuff at work. I feel like that's where it was a lack for me last year, and I feel like it was because I was like overthinking. I'm like, I want to do it this way, and instead of just like fuck it, just hit the record button and just do the shit.
True. Now I do know one thing that some people have been better at than I have in my past, but also I know it's a work in progress for both of us. Is the balancing of like multiple accounts, but it's kind of like a metaphorical example of having like multiple hats, and like you can use your account mainly for multiple purposes, and if it seems to be like working out and doing that type of motivation, where it goes with your post and how you talk about your daily examples or your goals or motivational quotes and things. Like you can still do that, but it's a way to like organize and structure your
like you said, like you like this day would be for motivation, or some of this day would be for this or that.
Yeah, whatever the case, or just also like the way you structure and like the way you fluctuate your content throughout the day and things of that nature. And when you archive it, so that way it's not just there entirely and then it's a boatload for somebody to be overwhelmed by it. It's something where it's like, okay, you can go back, reflect on it,
on something very specific.
Start a whole new thing for the next year.
I was like you said, somebody could like specifically like, I'm going to London, Instagram just to see this specific episode. Even if they didn't catch it on YouTube, but they were able to go to it on your Instagram, because you have it, like you said, you posting it a certain way.
Which is another thing we're gonna try to get bigger on and more fun about, which is making clips. So definitely get in the likes in the comments and let us know like different segments that stood out to y'all that y'all want us to expand more on, or definitely like revisit on another episode, or even something that y'all say we should break down to y'all and get more engagement with. So for sure.
Definitely, because we would love to do part 2s, part 3s of a lot of shit we already know.
Man.
Some stuff just deserves its own series, damn near.
Sometimes, and then also, sometimes some things we can get a little deeper in, and like we can dive more. But now, what's some of the things that you're excited about going into this year? Like aside from the music aspect, because I know we got new artists that we getting on too. What about like movies, for example? Because I know this weekend we definitely gonna have a lot of commercials and things that's gonna come out. We know the Super Bowl coming.
Yeah.
So
I'll name a few. I know me and you definitely talked about going to. We gonna try to get a vlog of us going to the movie. That's something I want to do. And then we're gonna try. We're gonna get a vlog of us going to the movie, and then after the movie, we do plan to do like a 10-15 minute review of the movie.
Oh, like a reaction, so authentic reaction.
A review without spoilers, because we going on the day the movie come out, so we going technically on advanced Thursday, whatever the fuck they call it, So we gonna see it before everybody get the fucking put it on Twitter and social media and talk about, oh my god, this shit happened.
That early premiere.
Yeah. So I know this upcoming week we got Captain America, Brave New World. You know what I mean? I see it got mixed reviews. Some people don't want to see it. Some people think it's gonna be kind of trash. Some people think it's gonna be good. Recently with the trailers they've been putting out, I think it's gonna be a pretty good story. I think it's gonna connect a lot of the stories from Marvel, even some of the stories or movies that people didn't really fuck with. But I think it's gonna be good overall.
For sure, I think it's gonna be pretty fire. And then don't forget, I know, I think just after that, you got that Michael B. Jordan joint, The Sinners.
We got Sinners, and they've showed more of that now, which me and you both said it had been like vampires or some shit.
Some, but I mean, it looked pretty interesting just as far as like the
quality
quality
of
of
cast.
acting and whatnot. Low key, it was another movie I want to say that might get released later this year, or it might just get released straight to like movie sites or so.
Which
but
one?
What's my guy? Not my guy.
Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan. I gotta choose my words wisely.
No, he's back. They just said he's back on.
Marvel
rehired his ass.
He in the fold. His acting is not in question. It's his outside.
Hey, his acting on that. I know what you're talking about. They decided that's gonna get released in theaters. You're talking about it's magazine something.
Yeah, like it's like a.
It's like bodybuilder. It's like a bodybuilder story, a black bodybuilder story, and
yeah,
he go through a lot of shit. And it looked good. And I'm like, his acting. They already talking about he can win a fucking Oscar for his acting in that movie.
It's pretty good, but that's like another good movie that's coming out, and we're not just bringing these up because it's Black History Month either. So like, we just bringing up quality actors in their movies.
Exactly. Hey, if you ain't black and your ass watching this, bro, Black History Month is still a thing. Stop listening to what the fuck they tell y'all dumbass on social media.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so like that, and then even aside, a lot of the other Marvel content like the Fantastic Four coming in the summertime.
Fantastic Four, TV show, Daredevil. I'm excited for.
For sure. But did you also peep? I don't know if you've been paying attention to Amazing Your Neighborhood Friendly Spider-Man.
Yeah, I started catching up on it like 2 days ago. It's decent. It's actually pretty decent.
Yeah, I like the updating the animation because everything since the whole like Spider-Man's Spider-Verse and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, with Miles Morales.
Been like peak
cool.
animation for like the shows. Yeah, like that's like X-Men and shit too.
For sure, definitely like with the X-Men as well. But I even like the
X-Men.
comic like aspect that they do into it. So that's pretty cool.
I like that I was watching the breakdown. I like what they did. It's its own universe. It's like an alternative universe. That's why you see some characters. I think like they've shown like Doctor Strange already, Venom, like just characters you know what I mean. Spider-Man that you don't really see. They Norman Osborn, Harry, all that already. That we don't even got in the MCU with Tom Holland.
For sure. But definitely, on a more serious note, speaking on like shows as well, like just a little recap of like some good quality shows that's been out, or that's out right now. Silo.
Yeah, you talking about Silo? I gotta check out Silo. You told me Silo. You said like some John Wick type content.
Nah, it's not no John Wick.
Wait, no, that's not the one.
It's more like post-apocalyptic in a way, but like
okay.
It's fire in the way that they got good plot and good writing. It's based off like a book, so like. It's
really yeah, it's probably gonna be good.
That From.
Oh yeah, From. I'm called. I can't, man.
It was fire.
Man, away From, and they bring that shit back 2026 when they come back. Yeah.
It seemed like it's a while away, but definitely like.
It is
in
a while away.
In due time.
But I'm excited for that while away because I know they finna pop the fuck off on the first episode.
For sure. So that's two. Definitely I know. What was the other one that I was watching on Netflix? It was the one with the black guy. I can't think of his name, but he kind of looked like Idris Elba, and he was like kind of like an enemy of the state because like.
Yeah, like a white dude got murdered, racist white dude.
Yeah,
like
something like that. I can't remember.
I forget the name of that, but yeah, he go through some shit.
We're gonna try to drop that in the list too when we drop the pictures of the joints for the movies, or shows too. But definitely that was fire. It's another TV show out right now that's called Paradise. It's like that.
I've heard about this Paradise. People were saying it, and I'm like, bro, what is this Paradise shit?
When I say 10 out of 10, dog, I mean 10 out of 10.
Paradise. It only like 4 episodes out or some shit.
I want to say it's maybe like 5 now.
5. Okay. I think one came out yesterday or today.
It's decent for sure. And even aside from that, another show that I've been watching, and it's an international joint. You gotta watch Alice in Borderland. It's an older show.
I had checked it out when it first came out, and I got off of it. Because another one I like is the All of Us Is Dead. It's like a zombie joint that's similar to the Alice in Wonderland like I think producers or whatever.
Yeah, that one was pretty cool.
Squid Game, bro. Squid Game. Squid Game was good.
We can't forget about Squid Game. Squid Game was fire, but we're not gonna jump all into like.
Because we know that they waiting for season 3 to really pop that shit
I
up
definitely
too.
feel like it was kind of short though, so don't get me wrong.
No, I was like 8 episodes out when I finished. I was like, bro, why the fuck this shit over with already? Like,
I feel like they could have told us a little bit more, but
nah.
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to, and I definitely know like some of the shows that I definitely was vibing with this year. But going back to the beginning when we talked about just recapping our end of the year and like our personal, outlook on this year as well. I don't know if you want to start or if you want me to start, but
You can start, man, because I gotta think about that.
for sure. I know one of the big things that I was talking about was just like my focus with work and my goal with like promotions and just like leveling up, getting through like the tough times of like holiday season and everything.
Facts.
I definitely want to say I made it. I'm glad everybody else made it. Happy New Year, y'all. I know we didn't get to have that first drop of the episode.
Happy New Year.
Right, on New Year's or just, in January.
No.
Also want to say, I feel good. Definitely, like, wrapping up the end of the year, I said one of my biggest focuses was to finish the year strong. I feel like I did that. Also, goals with work, different goals with the podcast.
Yo.
Things that I'm also trying to get more into as far as consistency with, like, health and fitness. Just for more meal prepping, more cooking, things like that.
I was gonna give you a link. I was
basics.
gonna shoot the shit to kill. When your ass come to the gym?
Hey, no, I got access again, so we on that. We back on that. And then
Okay.
my schedule back to normal, so I'm back free in the mornings again for the most part. So
All right.
yeah.
I think I know we was talking about that at least. So Wednesdays or some shit. Wednesday mornings.
Mhm. And oddly enough, another thing, before I hand it over to you for your recap as well. I know one of the things that I'm appreciative of going into this year, not alone aside from my outlook. I've been talking to my bros a lot more. Like we've been naturally just finding that flow of like reconnecting, checking in,
That's what's up.
doing our casual, calls, checking on each other.
Now it's just like it's almost like a rip like. It's like a ritual, like because you get used to constantly doing certain stuff, but it's like you said, it's almost kind of becoming something like that because now it's like I said, it's so natural. It's like it's like almost like y'all playing. It's like oh shit, this Friday, y'all, we gonna hop on the phone, gonna talk.
For sure, and definitely it does make a difference as well. Going back home, like I say, I was just in PA not too long ago, but even before that, I was back home in Chicago as well. So it was nice to like revisit the city, get a break from Iowa, get a break from work, get that little mental, reconnection with the family and all of that. So that was pretty good.
And then reassurance, like I said, everybody doing, for the most part, everybody doing good.
Man, because wintertime really ain't even hit us that hard here in the Midwest, which is pretty odd.
We got it coming, and like this week we go get a lot of fucking snow.
Y'all be careful, y'all be safe out there. I know we had one of them days, it was pretty cold with the frozen ice
yeah, that shit
and
like
black ice.
Damn near -10 and some shit.
Man,
Like,
slippery as hell.
motherfucker came out that motherfucker talking about Disney on ice.
Man, you go ahead. How was your end of your year?
And my year went really well. I would definitely say music. Like I said, definitely was excited to drop my music and get it done. It was 18 songs. Like I said, get that done, and then also be able to come back. Start of the year, January, on the day of my birthday, the 11th, dropping like an EP of like 5 songs. So it's just like ending the year strong and then starting the year strong. Like I said, on my music note, work went well. Like I said, definitely work went pretty well. And then just like I said, overall, I feel like definitely been way more consistent with the gym. I think that was like one of my biggest things, being consistent with the gym, being consistent with getting content for the gym, and just starting to build like a daily, I guess like routine for like what I want to do with my days of like with working out, work, what to do after work, planning for our podcast, like hooping and shit like that, and just really getting it more of a structure. I think, like I said, that went really well going into the end of the year, starting this year. I definitely got way more of a structure behind it versus like how it was last year, where I was kind of just like, all right, I'm going to the gym. I go 3-4 days, go 5 days this week, go 3 days that week, do this. It was just kind of just a bunch of clutter, all over the place. But
For sure.
I definitely feel like I got all that more compact now.
For sure. And I know elaborating a little more into your breakdown of your routine and whatnot. How do you feel that alludes to your 3 steps of dreaming bigger? Because I know that's one of the things that we kind of talked about off scene leading into this episode.
I'll say the 3 steps of dreaming bigger. Your routine is going to be your biggest motivator, I feel like, in a sense, because, so personally, I'll say really quick, just to give a breakdown. So personally, I started opening at work more, so now I gotta be at work at 6:30 in the morning. I fucking hate going in the afternoon, go work out, because everybody and their mama want to be in there like it's the club and conversate and congregate. Like, I ain't got time for that. Use your machine, work out, get the fuck on. It be 5-6 niggas, it does not take 5 niggas to do one machine. But that's just me. So I go in the morning, I was like, fuck it. All right, I was like in the last year going into this, I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm finna commit to getting up at 3:30 in the morning. I'm gonna get to the gym by 4:30, work out till about 6, and I'm gonna head to work. So that's been, so that's been my thing. And then it came with a lot of sacrifice, because then I had to figure out my schedule in terms of what day of the week I wanted to start, and in working out in the week. So right now I'm doing like, I go Tuesday through Saturday to work out, because so Mondays I close at work, and it was like I ain't gotta be at work till like 11 a.m. So it was kept like getting in the way. So like coming out of Sunday working, and Monday working, it was like getting in the way. It was trying to let me try to work out before work. I got this big ass gap, and I work 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it didn't work out for me. So I was like, all right, Tuesday to Saturday, and lately, like now I'm going on, basically about to go on 3 weeks straight, 5 days straight working out, doing my workouts consistently, doing my routine, my 5-day work routine for working out. So like really quick, like mine's like Monday, chest, triceps, shoulders. Tuesday is back and biceps or legs if I switch it up. Then Wednesday, and I just keep repeating. So I'm hitting every muscle group 2 weeks. And then like in the afternoons, I've been picking like days. I'm like, this day I'm gonna clean the crib. This day gonna be focused on cleaning the crib. This day gonna be focused on working on music. This day gonna be like, all right, I get to chill, I get to young game with the guys, whatever. And then other days like working on the podcast, working on content, like planning content for the week. And just now, like I said, going into 2025, getting just more of a structure and a strategy with that. So now I'm like, okay, by Sunday, this should be, all this shit should be done. I should already have this prepared going into this week. So now it's like I'm ahead of the week. Kind of how you was telling me, like you said, you was telling me how you was kind of doing things, where you was kind of planning it going at the end of last year.
Definitely. I know that's one of the goals for me as well. And if you don't mind me asking, because I know you kind of talked about the consistency. That was one of the things you emphasized as far as like in 3 steps. I know one of the main things that we also could probably agree on is just implementing a plan, which is also just really divulging out your details of how you want to get your goal completed. But what is your goal ultimately?
I say I know I didn't answer that. So my goal is to pretty much get to the point where it's like, because I feel a lot of us always do it, and it's just life. That's what we deal with, and it happens. But my goal is to, when I'm going to get something done, get it done. Honestly, I'm not going to add like time frame and all that in it. Like sometimes we put a time period behind things, and it fucks you up in terms of getting it done, because at the end of the day, the goal is to get it done, not how fast you get it done. And I feel like a lot of times I personally definitely have done it, but I know some other people I've talked to do as well. But that was one of my flaws. It's like I'm gonna get this done, and I put a time frame behind it. I'm like, I gotta get this done in 2 weeks. I gotta get this done in 2 days. And then when I don't hit that goal, it kind of like not unmotivate me, but make it where it's like now I'm like now I'm like either trying to rush, and then every time I'm trying to rush, I'm not getting it done correctly. So now I gotta restart, and then just eventually I just don't get it done. And I feel like that was a flaw. And even with our podcast, that's why we had an issue where I told you I couldn't upload some of our videos because of files, whatever. Eventually, I'm figuring it out now, and a lot of those videos you're gonna start seeing a mass upload from us in the next coming weeks, because I'm literally just gonna be putting out a lot of our episodes that didn't get put out, even small little segments and stuff.
So stay tuned.
A lot of content for February. Like I said, the rest of February, definitely for March and the rest of the year. Can't wait for you guys to get it. But that was one, and then another goal is just like living life more. I'll say. Like enjoying more moments of life, planning more moments in terms of like with us, with all the guys, with people we know, just anything that I'm doing, like hooping, like I said, and like I said, the biggest thing is getting content behind it, so I can be like, by next year I can be like, damn, remember we went and did this, or I did this, or damn, that was a good hoop session, but I got it on camera or some shit, just for, not even just for the social media, but just for myself.
Gotcha. And I know for myself, just remixing that same topic or subject, one of my goals is revamping or redeveloping how I define financial freedom.
Facts.
And also for my tax bracket, I guess, if I'm being honest, like, because I know a lot of times we try to live above our means, but we also have moments where like we get humble in we think we are a part of a certain class or a part of lifestyle, trend or whatever. That
just because you like say you change tax
everybody
brackets
else
and
is
things
doing
like that.
the case, right? And I know one of my big goals this year is to flip my bills, flip my cost of living, so that way.
I thought you was about to say flip a pack.
No.
I was like, oh shit, I can't.
Flip the way that my cost of living, plays on me.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I have more freedom of time to focus on different things and, like I say, invest myself in my lifestyle of fitness and health.
Oh, wow.
Also, traveling a little more. I know
Yep.
that's one of the big things that I'm trying to do as well this year.
Same.
Because not only I want to treat myself, I want to love myself better, and get myself more out there and comfortable with like solo traveling. I've never done that before, but also just trying to revamp and get a taste of different places to maybe relocate, resize. Just because I've been in Iowa long enough, and it's also been a great journey coming from being here for college, also getting into the workforce, seeing life change before my eyes because I'm growing as an adult, things like that, but also just learning that it is a lot bigger of a world out there, and it's only so much of the surface that I scraped and scratched.
Exactly. I also definitely just to add on, being, like I said, being from a bigger city and kind of your life shifts and you do come somewhere a little smaller, like in Chicago or New York or Miami, things like that. I definitely feel like it's a mindset shift on that, because you do, like I said, you do start to learn new things that you didn't know or that you couldn't learn back home, in a bigger city. You start to, you just learn a lot more, different people. And we've met different people here in Iowa, because there's people from Cali, there's people from Philly, there's people from Chicago, and things like that. And then you get to see different people's perspective of why they even came here. And what motivates them to still be here, or what's their plan, why they're here, even if that's not staying here, forever.
Right. And I know one of the big things that we talked about last year as well was how do we connect within the community, not just across when it's time of issues and turmoil, but also in times of accolade and highlight as well. I know one of the big things that I pride ourselves on last year was how we were at different events.
We went to, and that's like I said, I told y'all, the audience, we definitely try to get more like vlogs. We went to a couple events that we really could have got some content for. We did.
For sure. So we definitely want to, like I said, get more engagement. So definitely, if y'all got events coming up that you all personally are hosting, or that like it's part of your business, part of your
definitely invite us out. We'll definitely, like I said, if you don't invite us, whatever. If it's virtual, regardless, send us a clip, we'll repost it. All
For sure. Definitely, so we can all share and spread in the love spread the love within the community. And another thing that we also want to get bigger on is when we invite our guests on. Definitely, if you got your side hustle, your business that you do, your entrepreneurship, be ready to let that shit be known, because we want to highlight y'all just like we want to highlight ourselves, and it's all about, like I said, that communal love. We all trying to eat, we all trying to grow. So
he said, stand on business, don't sit down, stand up. Stand up.
For sure.
So speaking of that, real quick, I was about to say I am supposed to be doing an event that we're gonna get some content on, depending on the details, but I might be doing a little modeling event. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, April. So I would tell you that a while ago.
For sure. Yeah. You want to dive deep on what's the occasion, or what's the cause?
So it's one of my friends. His name is Izzy, a good friend that I've met through another friend named Siri. They both do like forms of art, being creative and stuff like that. And he, like I said, me and him went thrift shopping one day. He was showing me so I never had been thrift shopping. Being in bigger cities, we always get designer shit, or just bigger stores. So I went thrift shopping, and he was just telling me what's the whole thing behind people that do thrift shopping. And it's just not only are they out there looking for cool clothes, whatever, and vintage stuff. He was like, it's just kind of more like the history behind it. You might find pieces that that was around when our parents was around. Shit from the '90s, and you could just change it up, do what you want to do with it. But you bring a piece of the past with you here to the future, and being able to revamp it and show it off in a good way. And then, like I said, then eventually he works with some people, and they're doing something for the culture, for Black people and stuff. And it's fashion and different designers, and pretty much the designers are going to make pieces for us to wear. We pretty much show off their stuff for them.
For sure. And I just want to take a quick moment, just a little side note, to let y'all know that, like I say, this year we are very focused on revamping the whole podcast and our focus and getting very engaged. So we want to let y'all know that, hey, This year's about growth. It's about healing. It's about unfiltered conversations. So definitely bring the heat. So we taking all criticism. We still taking compliments. We definitely want to know things that's, you know, bugging y'all in the community that you feel like we not talking about, that y'all want to hear us talk about, things that y'all want to hear us give a little more highlight to. And it's not just for the black men, black brothers at all either. It's also for the sisters. It's also for
definitely for the sisters.
The sisters and brothers, whatever you want to call yourself. You know, hey, it's for any and everybody, because at the end of the day, we love all y'all. We definitely hope, you know, everybody feels welcome, everybody feel loved as well. Facts. We crack our jokes, but we keeping it all raw, all authentic. You know,
for sure. Always, you got to, man. Because unfortunately, like we said last on the podcast, it's still a bunch of bullshit going on.
Man, always. It's always gonna be a bunch of BS.
Who you got though? Real quick for the mom for Super Bowl. Who your team?
See, cause you know we from Chicago, so you know I'm a diehard Bear fan. As sad as it is, sad as it is. But
man, we talked about that. They jinxed our boys, man. And now the Bulls don't look no better.
That's a whole.
We can go die talk about that.
Yeah, but all in all, I feel like I just want to see a good game. I'm not gonna pick either side just because. It would be amazing to see a three-peat, but at the same time, it would be nice to see Saquon and, you know,
them walk out with one.
Yeah. You know, especially when they got so close in that first matchup. So
hey, they might.
You never know. But
if it be a blowout on any side, that shit gonna be crazy. But
I doubt it'll be a blowout. I feel like it'll be a close
game. They
game.
both pretty decent defensive teams.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a close game, if anything.
Yeah.
That's definitely gonna be interesting, like, to watch tomorrow, even if I gotta go to work. So that's gonna be that.
Shit, sure.
Definitely.
Watch that shit at work.
Just being tuned as well, aside from the vlog that we're gonna try to do for the movie, for that early premiere, we're gonna also be home in the city this weekend coming up, so definitely stay tuned. We're gonna try to vlog some of the experience. We're gonna try to definitely connect with some of the fans and our guests that we got out there back home.
Fast, we definitely, we both got family, you know, our family and friends, we both go visit, but we definitely plan on linking up while we are there. And try to, you know, touch down on some event, some spot. Shit, just do us.
Yeah, definitely. But we definitely want to, you know, get another, you know, quick little podcast up if we can. Maybe something audio-like if possible, because I know last time we had a good conversation with your cousin Caprice with Queso, so we definitely been trying to get him back on the line. I know a few people that said let's get him back on there. He been having some good content.
Him on there, Malik. We trying to get our boy Julian. Shout out to our boy Mark, bro, in Minnesota. So they shouted him out at the Minnesota Timberwolves game last week. I was like, yo, that shit was crazy.
That's what's up. And then even speaking on that, I know we got a few other people that podcasts as well out there that we trying to collaborate. So that's another thing as well. Like I said, getting back to that communal love and whatnot.
Facts.
It's a few people that's been, you know, getting their stuff off the ground as well, like getting their podcasts up and going.
We always for the brotherly love and connecting with anybody, my man, and with the sisters as well.
For sure. So stay tuned if you see any like slick collabs that come out that we jump on and you see some more Born Unfiltered out there. So definitely stay in tune for that as well.
Exactly. Hey, we know eventually we gotta get some, you know, some merch. We gotta get some hats for y'all, some hoodies.
Hey, that's coming after Strong Visionaries. You say that's all. That's all I'm saying. Hey. You say after Strong Visionaries, we working on Born Unfiltered. We coming hot.
They both coming hot.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Cause I know you got a lot going on with your clothing brand and whatnot.
Hey, you know you always gotta be a fucking model.
Hey, that's all I'm saying. But yeah. But end all be all, we hope that y'all starting off the year on a good note. We hope that everybody is in good health, mental and physical. Also, that if work ain't beating you down already, or if winter ain't beating you down already, y'all still living, still having a good time, still enjoying life as it is, because literally God blessed us with a new day every day.
And it's another day to get better and do better.
Man, another day to get cheddar. Shit.
You know what I mean? To get to the bread.
Man, for real. But no, all in all, I hope y'all enjoying y'all weekend as well. Man, we love y'all. Again, love. Comment, subscribe. Give us some love. Give us some comments, some criticism. We take it all. Literally, we'll engage y'all as well. So stay on the lookout for some follow-up content.
Yep, go to the follow-up content. Also, go to our on Instagram and hopefully on YouTube. Try to see if we can put it on there. Just all the links and stuff that we're going to have, like I said, for the group me, for the clubhouse, and all that stuff, because we're trying to get this Born Unfiltered After Dark, where it's just pretty much live. It's on the clubhouse, I know that's more his shit.
Yeah, cause I'm more the night owl, so like definitely I'll take that hold out that mantle or whatnot.
Yeah, I'll be on there a couple times.
But definitely, even on that, keep me engaged as well, cause I want to know like what's some of the things that y'all want to like talk more comfortable about. If like the nighttime session is more for y'all, or y'all type of atmosphere. I know some people more comfortable around that time, or just even like kind of some of the type of content that y'all want to see, especially catered towards the audience and the community for growth and things like that if people are up late. So stay tuned, y'all. And with that being said, keep it all raw, all authentic. It's Born Unfiltered. It's 2025. We're going to keep coming to you.
Facts.
Let's get it.
So go ahead and give me that exit music.
Man, cue it up.
That's some West Coast shit.
Some slight.
That's Yachty.
Yeah. You sound